Hello and welcome to the Daily Mill for Thursday the 16th of June 2022. Today's Millwall news, we have not really an update, it's just some more stuff about Jed Wallace. Nothing's happened yet. So Jed Wallace's Millwall future is still in limbo, yes, exactly. This is from news@den.co.uk. Millwall winger Jed Wallace is in discussions with other clubs over a potential transfer this summer, the news understands. Wallace, 28, is at the end of his current contract, although Lions have confirmed that they've offered the winger a new deal to remain at the Den. Should he depart, the club will need to replace the 6 goals and 11 assists that he registered in the Championship last season. The news spoke to a source this week who confirmed that Wallace is yet to make a final decision on where he will play next season and has not yet ruled out remaining at Millwall. The club will be hoping to resolve the transfer saga as soon as possible, with the players set to return for pre-season training next week. Wallace has claimed that he would like to decide in the future after getting married in Spain this summer. Yeah, that's already happened. A number of teams have been linked with a move for Wallace, most recently West Bromwich Albion. The Baggies have already brought Reading midfielder John Swift and Brighton's Jason Malumbi to the Hawthorns, with manager Steve Bruce reportedly keen on adding Millwall's Mercurial forward to his squad for next season. Cardiff City and Turkish side Besiktas have also been rumoured destinations for Wallace, while Nottingham Forest saw their bids rejected by Millwall in the January transfer window. However, the Reds can now offer Premier League football after beating Huddersfield Town in the Championship playoff final and may attempt to bring Wallace to the City ground on a free transfer this summer. The top flight football may prove the deciding factor in his immediate future, but many of Millwall's Championship rivals will also be keen to acquire his services before the start of the season. But here's the thing, Nottingham Forest, now, they hoped that they would get promoted, but they didn't really expect to be promoted. So they were probably trying to sign Jed Wallace to boost themselves and hope to get up there, but they did it anyway without him. Now they're in the Premier League, so what happens to Jed Wallace now, if Nottingham Forest come in for him? They probably had a deal in mind to give him that was a Championship deal, so but they're a Premiership team now, so they give him Premiership wages, or they're going to offer him the same contract that they would have given him before, because it's the same guy, it hasn't changed, it's just they're in a different league. Then he's going to be like, well, hang on a minute, you're in the Premiership, why is the contract not better than that? And you could say he hasn't proven himself in the Premiership. He has aspirations to play in the Premiership. He's not a proven Premiership player. He's not a proven top league player. Like if they were signing someone from Bundesliga or League One in France, or Serie A or La Liga. Yeah, he's not. He hasn't proven himself at that level. Doesn't mean he can't play there. He could play there, but you would imagine, would he want to go there? Now, here's the thing, maybe they're in a relegation scrap, they get relegated right away. So what happens then? I imagine you have to take a pay cut. Now, he might do really well, and then he'll have to move again, because we wouldn't have to move again, but if he wants to play in the Premier League and they get relegated straight away, and he plays really well, but the team get relegated, and other teams can go like, well, I'd rather stay in the Premier League, thank you very much. But here's the other thing as well. Now, this is dragging on and on and on. Mill haven't signed any players yet. Is this why we haven't signed any players yet? Because Jed Wallace hasn't decided yet. Now, obviously, they've made a offer to Millwall. Have made an offer to Jed Wallace. So if we've offered the money to him, we can't go around offering it to other people. It's kind of semi-locked up with Jed Wallace, as we're waiting for him to make a decision. So here's the thing: if I imagine something will happen, now we're either going to find out straight away that Jed Wallace is signed for someone else, or Mill will start signing other players because Jed Wallace has said, yeah, I'm not coming back, and then they can start making concrete offers to other people, because they know the money that they would have given to Jed Wallace is they're not going to need to give it to him anymore because he's declined the offer. So, but here's the thing. I mean, there comes a point like you're holding everything up, mate. Well, I don't know if he is, but if that's the situation, you're holding everything up. That's not fair. Even though you're a good player, Jed, and we want you to come back to Millwall, it's not fair for you to fuck around like this. Piss or get off the pot. We need to know what we're doing. Millwall Football Club need to know what they're doing for next season, and that includes you, and it includes the money that we would have given you. And if you're not going to do the deal, then say you're not going to do the deal, and then we'll buy other players. But maybe this is the reason why. Maybe this is the reason why we haven't signed any players yet, because we are literally waiting for Jed Wallace to either accept or decline the offer. And he's umming and ahhing. He's like, well, I might come back. Like, well, fucking hell, we're 7 days away now, or less than that. They go back to pre-season training on the 22nd. And here's the thing: don't all the contracts go to the end of the month, so the 30th? Would he have to come back to pre-season training for, like? I know it's kind of weird. I don't expect he would, but you're on the contract. I don't know. But yeah, I imagine things will start moving once Jed fucking lets everyone know what's going on. And there you go. Now, more from the Jed Wallace situation is this. This is from londonnewsonline.co.uk, and someone has been listening to podcasts. Who is that? Kai Bennett. So Millwall first team coach will be devastated if Jed Wallace makes West Brom switch. So what's happened here? So it seems that Millwall first team coach Paul Robinson, not the one who used to play for us, the one who used to play for Birmingham City. We've got two Paul Robinsons. Has admitted that he would be devastated if Jed Wallace was to join West Brom, but revealed nothing is done yet. The Lion Star is out of contract this summer and will be on the radar of a lot of clubs, including the Baggies. The South London club confirmed when announcing their retained list that Wallace had been offered a new contract. But remember, we also offered a new contract to Michael Keftenbeld, and he rejected that contract offer. The 28-year-old has scored 42 goals in 229 appearances with Millwall over 3 separate spells before making the Denny's permanent home in 2017. Robinson told the Baggies broadcast podcast, I can see why Jed is liked by a lot of teams. He is a top player, he's a runner, and he has got great ability when it comes to scoring goals and assisting goals. For us, he will be a massive loss, and I really hope he stays with us. He's a massive character to have around the training ground. But he is a great signing for another club if he chooses to do that. Only Jed will know what he wants to do. It's his decision and what's right for him and his family. If he does go to West Brom, I will be devastated, but I will be delighted for Jed because I'll know he'll be signing for a great club, and I'll be phoning him to tell him what a great club it is, but nothing is done yet. I'm still hoping he will stay on Millwall playing by the time he gets to pre-season he is with us. If not, I will give him a call to wish him all the best and to stay in touch with him. He's a fantastic player. Whatever happens will be Jed's decision, and I unfortunately can't change that. He's a runner, he has energy, and he has quality. His set-piece delivery is always on point. He does all the dirty work for all his teammates. These types of players are missing these days. You don't see that a lot. If he loses the ball, he runs back 40 yards to help his defence. He is the type of guy that gives his all for the team. So there you have it. That was from Baggy's broadcast podcast. Now I imagine they're not really talking that much about Millwall, but obviously they've got him on because he's at Millwall now, and there's a link that Jed might be going there, that the West Brom are going to be offering him a contract. So we'll see how that goes. But I mean, come on, stop fucking around and let everyone know what's going on, so we can even start rebuilding for next season, please. So here we have this story from londonnewsonline.co.uk. This is a player that we've already been linked with, Eliott Anderson. If you've been watching the videos, you'll know about that. Millwall interested in Newcastle United midfielder, but no loan deal is imminent. This is from londonnewsonline.co.uk. Millwall will remain firmly in the hunt for Eliott Anderson, but any loan deal for the Newcastle United striker is not imminent. The Toon want the 19-year-old for at least part of their pre-season training and that means any temporary exit for the Whitley Bay-born midfielder is still a number of weeks away. But the Lions do have strong interest in Anderson and identified him as a target last season. The Scotland under-21 international sparkled for Bristol Rovers in the second half of last season as Joey Barton's side clinched a final automatic promotion spot in League 2. Millwall are hopeful of securing a deal, but know that there is plenty of interest in Anderson, who joined Newcastle at the age of 8. It was reported earlier this week that Sheffield Wednesday had made a formal approach to take him on loan. Anderson has made 2 senior appearances for Newcastle, both of those coming in the 2020-21 campaign. So he's already played for the first team. That's good. And they want to have a look at him, so we'll see how that goes. Hopefully he doesn't play for them and then get injured, because that would be an absolute nightmare. But we have another story from News at Den about Eliott Anderson, published today. Not the same story, it's slightly different. Millwall have reportedly emerged as favourites to sign Newcastle United's Eliott Anderson on loan. Journalist Darren Whitcoop has claimed that the Lions are frontrunners to acquire the winger's signature after he impressed on loan at League 2 side Bristol Rovers last season. And there's the tweet, you can see it there. It was published this morning at 8:41 AM. Millwall have emerged as a favourites to win the race to sign in-demand Newcastle winger Eliott Anderson on loan. How or why? How does he know that? Why is he saying that? I don't know. He's a journalist. Is he a good one? I don't know. And what is the point of putting this out? To get 137 likes? Is he farming for likes? I mean, why say this? Who gives a fuck? Maybe he's trying to let other clubs know their deals are a bit shit and Newcastle and Eliott Anderson don't like them. Don't know. Maybe he's letting them know they should move on. I don't know. Anderson, 19, joined the gas for the second half of the campaign, playing 21 games and scoring 8 goals as Joey Barton's side won automatic promotion to the third tier in dramatic fashion. The Scottish under-21 international is a natural attacking midfielder, but spent much of his time at the Memorial Ground playing as a left winger. His form towards the end of the season has earned him the League 2 Player of the Month awarded for April. While reports have claimed that Newcastle boss Eddie Howe is keen to give Anderson an opportunity to play for the first team in pre-season, a number of clubs have been linked with a loan move for the Magpies Academy graduate. League One outfit Sheffield Wednesday have apparently tabled a formal offer, while rumours suggest that Luton Town and a number of Mill's Championship rivals have also been interested in acquiring his services. The Lions may see Anderson as a replacement for Jed Wallace, who's yet to sign a new deal at the Den and is widely expected to depart the club this summer. So yeah, there you have it. 2 stories about Eliott Anderson from each of the papers that cover Millwall. So apparently we're the favourites. I don't know how or why he knows that or why he's letting us know that, but apparently we are. We're going to move on to this now. This is about Ben Thompson. He's spoken at length to news@den.co.uk, probably the Southern News as well. I don't know if it's in the paper. Exclusive, Tomo opens up on Millwall exit. So what happened? Let's find out. Ben Thompson has admitted he lost the love of football towards the end of his Millwall career as he opened up on his difficult last 2 seasons with his boyhood club and his eventual exit. Thompson left Millwall in January of this year after his contract was mutually terminated. He went to Gillingham to play for the manager under whom he became a first team Lions regular, Neil Harris. Thompson, 26, initially spoke to Millwall boss Gary Rowett before the start of the last season to tell him he wanted to leave. The Sid Cup-born midfielder was linked with a return to Portsmouth but remained with the Lions beyond the summer window. But Thompson only played 1 minute in the Championship in 21-22 and made just 2 starts against Cambridge United and Leicester City in the EFL Cup. Thompson knew in January he had to leave and both parties agreed a deal. I'd say it was one of the toughest decisions I've ever had to make in football. I was at Millwall 10 years, my boyhood club, Thompson tells News at Den. I enjoyed most of my time here, barring probably the last couple of seasons. Other than that, I have some fantastic memories and met some fantastic people. It was hard to make the decision, but it was probably best for both parties. I sort of knew at the start of last season I wasn't going to be in the plans. I wasn't thought of as a main star for Gary. If I know I'm not going to play, it's my decision to go to the manager and say, look, I've got to go, which I did at the start of last season because I knew I wasn't going to be involved. Nothing happened, nothing materialised then. But in January, the club sort of wanted me out and I had to go and play football again. So we came to an agreement, and that was that. As I say, tough decision. Not the way I wanted my Millwall career to end, but hey ho, that's football and that's how it works. It's a ruthless industry. I just had the feeling from the 2020-21 season and coming back for pre-season last season, I probably knew it wasn't going to be in the plans. I think the only reason I was playing in the season before was down to injuries and stuff like that. It was a general feeling that I got. I knew where I stood, and that proved as well that I made the right decision. Thompson scored the first goal of Rowett's reign, the opener, in a 2-0 win over Stoke City at the Den in October 2019 when he played behind striker Tom Bradshaw in a 4-4-1-1 formation. He was a regular in the side until that December, but then a hamstring injury and the first COVID-19 lockdown and suspension of football meant he didn't play a competitive senior game for over 6 months. Rowett switched to a 5-2-3 formation not long after taking over, meaning the position Thompson started in against Stoke was mostly discarded. But Thompson points out he played as a conventional central midfielder plenty of times across his 175 games for the Lions. I enjoyed playing behind a striker, but I started off at Millwall as a defensive all-action midfielder, Thompson says. I can do both sides of the game. Unfortunately, I didn't get that chance and it didn't work out. When Rowett came in, I thought I started off well in the first 10 games or so. I scored the first goal of his reign. I think an injury after that didn't help, and COVID after that. It was just a mix of things. And that was really where it ended after that first season. Despite Millwall suffering an injury and COVID-19 crisis over the winter, Thompson was still deemed surplus to requirements. It meant he trained all week without the rewards in midweek or at weekends. That's the hardest thing I've had to deal with other than injuries, Thompson says. It's tough going in during a week knowing you're not going to be involved on the Saturday. You have to do it right for yourself. You have to keep yourself fit and keep yourself in shape because you never know what's around the corner. It was mentally tough, and as I've said in previous interviews, I sort of lost the love of football for a while. When I went to Gillingham and played under Neil again, that was brought the love back and brought the spark back. Thompson regularly played for Kevin Nugent's under-23s last season to try and maintain his match sharpness. It was one of those things that I had to do to keep myself sane, keep myself fit, and actually play some football, Thompson says. I had to do that, and I was pleased that the management and staff let me do that, thanks to Nugent and assistant manager Paul Robinson for having me for the few months that they did. I like to think I can help the younger players out and they can learn things from me and me from them as well. You're never too old to stop learning. Nugent and Robbo are great fellas and really looked after me and helped me stay fit and stay sane, sort of thing. I can't thank them enough. No matter what, I'll always be a Millwall fan. I've been going since I was 3-4 years old. That won't stop now. I've got to take my kids now and teach them the ways early. Thompson is asked if he feels bitter about his time at Millwall ended. He replies, "No, not at all, not at all. It's that's football. That's just business, isn't it? I had a fantastic 10 years there, where it was fantastic most of the time. I enjoyed some fantastic times, promotion, FA Cup runs, goals. Millwall fans were obviously a massive part of that, and they supported me throughout. I loved every minute of it, and I can't thank them enough. So, indeed, thank you very much, Ben Thompson. Sorry about the last 2 years, but hopefully you're on to bigger and better stuff now. Off at Peterborough United for the next 2-3 years. Good luck to you. Good luck to you. Yeah. So we're gonna end with this now. Probably should have ended on that on the Tom, I think, because that's quite poignant and sad. But I lined it up this way instead. So this is from news@den.co.uk. So away form can't be Mill's kryptonite next season. In football, the disparity between a team's home and away form is nothing new. You don't need any detailed statistics to conclude that teams generally pick up more points in their own stadium than they do in someone else's. Yeah, I think it's like something like 80% of total matches are home wins. So I think only 5% are away wins. So and the higher that you go up in the leagues, the more that is. Like you go down the leagues, you do get the odd. It drops. I think it can drop down to like something like 65% home wins. I think in some kind of, what was that, Scottish league? I remember seeing something like that. You don't need it. Why you might occasionally find an anomaly to this rule, it's clear that most sides thrive in front of their own fans and struggle in less familiar settings. There are few clubs that epitomise this theory more than Millwall. The Den is one of the most feared stadiums in English football. The incredibly hostile atmosphere proves to be too much for too many sides in the Championship, and the Lions boasted the third best home record in the entire division last season as a result. Only champions Fulham and runners-up Bournemouth picked up more points on their home turf. This is incredibly impressive given that Millwall ranked 16th in the Championship's home attendance rankings, averaging just shy of 13,000 fans. However, the Lions' poor away form was ultimately the difference between their eventual 9th place finish and a spot in the playoffs. Now here's the thing. Obviously, with Mill's fans' reputation, a lot of our fans are restricted. They don't give us many tickets. Even if we do get tickets have to be sold to season ticket holders first. They're members, and then they don't go on general sale. People can still get them, but our away following is restricted. Now here's the thing. Could it be a thing that if the away tickets were on general sale, or we could get more, maybe they're still restricted, but we were able to get more. Maybe if we said it was, no, I don't know. But if there was some way to improve the numbers of Millwall fans going to away games, would that help us out? I don't know. Maybe we should look at the away games attendances by Millwall fans. The games where we brought a lot of fans, how did we do in those games? Did we win those games? Was it a good result? I don't know. Maybe that's something to look at and see. If it's a numbers thing, then we've got to fucking put these other clubs' feet to the fire and tell them, give us a decent number of tickets. Stop taking a piss. You're fucking us up, because we would be doing better in the league if we had more away fans at the stadium. Maybe that's a thing. I don't know. However, the Lions' poor away form was ultimately the difference between their eventual 9th place finish and a spot in the playoffs. It can't be forgotten that last year was their tied 4th best finish since the turn of the century. It shows that the club are able to compete for a place in the top 6 despite operating on a much lower budget than many of the sides at the top end of the league. Not really. I showed you at the end of the season a graphic from Experimental 361 about how many days each club had spent in each position, and I showed you the one for Millwall. We did not spend a single day in the top 6. Never. We were never in the top 6. We were also never in the relegation zone. We were literally in the middle throughout the whole season. We never got into the top 6. We never got into the relegation zone. But when you look at the teams above us, Sheffield United, who got in the playoffs, and Nottingham Forest, who got in the playoffs, they spent a fair bit of time in the relegation zone. Not a lot of time, but they were there. It can't be forgotten that last year was their... Oh no, I read that. To some, this might be stating the obvious, but addressing their away form would likely be the difference between Mill's promotion hopes being a pipe dream and turning it into a genuine possibility. Garrett's side had the 17th best away record in the 17th best or 17th worst Championship last season. How can you say 17th best when you get down to 17 out of 24? It's not best, it's the 17th. Picking up just 24 points from their 23 games on... Oh my god. 24 points from 23 games. God damn. This is worse than the likes of Cardiff City, Hull City and Stoke City, all of whom finished in the bottom half of the division last season. God damn, so we only needed average away form and we would have got in the playoffs. We had dog shit away form and we still finished 7th. No, we finished 9th. We were 7th for the last day of the season. It shows that Millwall, in a way, are two totally different sides. At home, they're an incredibly resilient side who are fueled by the fiery atmosphere, by the Den, capable of occasionally thrashing an opponent, but often end up grinding out impressive results in front of their own fantastic supporters. Away from home, that confidence seems to dip massively. All 5 of the Lions' away wins were by 1 goal margin, which isn't a real issue. Yeah, we need to keep a clean sheet. I was saying this throughout the season, because of the low. You have a certain amount of shots, and a certain number of them on target, and then a less of them is an actual goal. And we were having like 7 shots. 2 would be on target, and we would get 1 goal. If you've got shit like that, you need to keep a clean sheet, otherwise you're not doing anything. If they manage to turn just a handful of their 9 away draws into wins, they'll likely be analysing their exploits in last season's playoffs. While a 6-point gap to the top 6 might feel significant to some, the individual results show that it was narrow margin that prevented them from making that next step and qualifying for the championship playoffs for the first time since 2002. Much of this summer's focus is on signings, and rightly so, as Millwall are operating with an incredibly thin squad at the time of writing. But on top of the additions that are needed, the Lions may just be just a couple of psychological tweaks away from bridging the gap to the top 6. Only Derby County, who suffered a 21-point deduction, were relegated to League One with a makeshift squad of academy players and Premier League veterans, finished with a bigger gap between their home and away total than Millwall. This isn't to say that the Lions need to suddenly win all of their away games in order to stand a chance of winning promotion, but overcoming the mental block that has troubled them on the road could certainly make the difference. Yeah, like I said, like we had dog shit away form. If we just had average away form, we would be in the top 6. If they can do this while both bolstering their squad this summer and keeping the 10 as a near impenetrable fortress, then the playoffs could genuinely be within reach next season. Yes. Yeah, like I said, maybe we need to play a different formation away from home. Maybe we need to play 4 at the back. Like everyone's saying, play 4 at the back, play 4 at the back. It's more attacking. Maybe we play 4-5-1. That becomes a 4-3-2-1 when we're away from home. But again, like we don't have the target man, so I don't know. Maybe if we play 4-3-2-1 or 4-5-1 away from home, and we can mix and match a bit more. I don't know. They need to look at it and do something. I don't know what happens. But like I said, just improve that dog shit away form, and we're rocking. So how are we going to do that? Do you have any suggestions? Like I said, maybe just try and get more fans into the away grounds. Do something like that. I think I showed you in a previous video. There's a lot of northern teams in the league this year. Burnley come down, and others. I think Rotherham will come up. It's looking a lot more northern now. That's going to be less fans for Millwall in away games, probably. That could our away form get even worse? Don't know. I don't know. Hopefully not, because fucking hell, how bad can it be? 24 points from 23 games. You're having a fucking laugh, ain't ya? And on that note, thank you for watching, and goodbye.